Welcome to the middle of nowhere. More specifically, a blink and you miss it beach town 2 hours from Copenhagen called Hasmark. Never heard of it? Good. Neither had I. The perks of staying in a quiet beachside town, the views are unbeatable. The serenity is next level. But the downside? Turns out, there aren't exactly breakfast spots on every corner in Hasmark. I'm talking more like 0 options. So we started our day with a quick stop at the local supermarket, which became our new best friend. We stocked up on everything from bread and cheese to snacks we couldn't pronounce but bought anyway. With our bags full of fresh Danish goodies, we headed back home and had a proper feast. I'm talking garlic butter, blue cheese, hummus, and the freshest bread you've ever tasted. Apparently, it had been sitting on coal for 12 hours overnight. Honestly, still dreaming about that bread. The time had come for us to explore the beach. With the scenery so tranquil, I couldn't but feel like I was in The Last Song, specifically the scene where they rescue the turtles. Everything here feels like a movie, honestly. From the white of the sand to the blue of the sky and the friendly passersby stopping you to comment on last night's full moon, there's just something so magical in noticing nature as it is, just existing and you just observing its magnitude. And of course, we couldn't miss out on having some fun. We did cartwheels, we hunted for shells, and we jumped until that bread I was mentioning earlier started to feel not so appetizing. But it was fun. It was time to hit the road. But you know what they say, you can't get far on an empty stomach. So, halfway to our destination, we stumbled upon a hidden gem. Stacy's Diner. Now picture this, a 1950s American diner, smack in the middle of Denmark. Fries, shakes, a band and dancers that didn't miss a beat. It really was like stepping into a time machine. We ate like kings. Or at least, like very happy tourists.
You wanna throw that all away? How it makes me feel so sad.
Following the theme of fairy tale, our next stop was Egeskov Castle. Now, if you've ever wondered what happens when you mix medieval defenses with Renaissance flair, this is it. A moat, thick walls, secret passages, the whole 9 yards. As we wandered through the halls, it was hard to imagine that people used to actually wear these clothes, live here, wake up and wander these rooms on a random Tuesday, and enjoy these kinds of riches. Actual knights once roamed these corridors. This castle has seen its fair share of history, from noble families to war preparations. But now it's more about beauty than battle. Speaking of beauty, a beautiful car exhibition. This castle had it all. The kind of collection so massive you'd think James Bond was moonlighting as a Danish noble. I mean, look at these cars. And not only cars, airplanes, helicopters, motorcycles. There was something for everyone to enjoy. Last adventure of the castle were the beautiful gardens. You could walk on wooden bridges, seemingly floating in the air, connected tree by tree, and feel like you're in a different world. perhaps one resembling more Avatar than real life. Jungle-like green, surrounding you everywhere you look, making you feel like you're truly at peace. And next to it, there was a maze with a wooden structure in the middle of it that took us a lot of time and cheating to find, that once found you could climb and enjoy the view of the fields. Our next stop was at a local bakery for a delicious sweet treat. Flaky layers of dough, warm cinnamon buns, and that sweet, buttery smell that just makes you want to pack up your life and move next to a bakery in a small village like this one. We chose our treats and enjoyed some delicious flavors. And as we left, we made sure to grab some of the bread buns we saw earlier. And one thing's for sure, they did not disappoint. That night, we found a gem, Papa's Pop Art, a place that felt like your best friend's living room, but if your best friend had a killer board game collection. Picture this. You book a table and dive straight into game night, while you sip on craft beers or classic cocktails. Great drinks, great company, and a chance to channel your inner strategist while you flip the cards. We had so much fun. The purpose of the game we ended up choosing was basically for you to come up with a lie as fast as possible and gaslight the main player into believing you instead of the real truth teller so they couldn't figure out the truth. So, we grabbed a round and started lying our faces off. Next chapter, the boat ride. It was supposed to be a chill, sunny day, picture-perfect excursion, but life had other plans. The rain wasn't exactly a monsoon, but it was enough to add some gritty flair to our trip. You know what though? Copenhagen in the rain, it's got a vibe. We didn't give up. We continued, even though my driving was nothing short of a disaster. Me steering left, the boat turning right, as it's supposed to apparently. You know the drill, and despite my navigation skills giving everyone on board a full-blown panic attack, the scenery was beautiful. The city's skyline reflecting in the water. The world just slowed down for a moment, and everything was in perfect balance. From the colorful houseboats to the quiet parks lining the canal, it was as if each corner of the city had its own story to tell, unfolding slowly as we cruised by. Day 3 took us into the heart of a fairy tale once more. Odense, the hometown of Hans Christian Andersen, the guy that turned nightmares into fairy tales. Walking these streets, you could feel it. The magic, the wonder, the sense that every corner had a story waiting to be told. The little bird was very much alone, and everything around it seemed so cold and unwelcoming. It longed for companionship, but was mocked and ignored by the other animals. But the bird grew stronger. Its feathers grew more beautiful, and one day, as it looked into the still water of a pond, it saw its reflection. No longer an ugly duckling, but a magnificent swan, soaring into the sky with grace. And in Andersen's museum, it was like stepping inside his mind, where even the ordinary could become extraordinary. Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. That quote hit me. Anderson got it. He knew that the best stories aren't planned, they just happen. They're messy, unpredictable, and full of surprises. Standing there in the middle of his legacy, I couldn't help but smile. Life is but an adventure. All that's asked from you is to let it happen. I had a vision of us hiking through some epic Viking landscapes, channeling our inner warrior. But as it's often true, life had other plans. We got there, and the wind almost blew Cynthia away. So, we switched gears. Instead of battling the elements, I grabbed my camera and sketched out the scene in my head. So here you go now, you can all see what I imagined the past here to look like. Viking ships cutting through the waves. Warriors drinking beer, getting ready to conquer whatever threat came next.
Attack! You are the gold thief. We got him, boys. Skull, to strong hearts and sharp axes. May our ale be plenty, our shields unbroken, and our enemies flee before us, like leaves in the storm. To brothers and sisters at our side, to battles fought and won. Drink deep, laugh loud, and fear nothing.
You get the idea. Last stop, Copenhagen. City of canals, cobblestones, and more bicycles than people. I know I said no tourist stuff, but come on. Those colorful buildings are like candy for your eyes. A couple sitting by the canal, a man playing music, and a reminder everywhere around you that life just is. How can you say no?